right, we are live. How? Welcome to week 13 of NFL Team Maker. So hopefully, Douglas, you're having a good week because both our quarterbacks are still alive and not injured.
Yeah, that's big.
Yes. Welcome to, I like to call this is the season called, hopefully our quarterbacks don't get injured for the rest of the season.
Oh my goodness. Are you talking fantasy or for our actual respective favorite teams?
Oh, everybody.
Yeah.
Both, unfortunately. But I guess we got to start with Douglas. I guess is this okay? I kind of agree with my one podcast. Is it a conspiracy? Did they have not the strongest week 13 because college football bowl games, not bowl games, but play the conference championships?
Well, I don't know about that. Um, sorry, I gotta put some money on my Red Wings. They're starting here in a momento.
Oh my God! Hopefully the Red Wings are not going to be the Dead Wings this season. I think they're looking a lot better, Douglas. I will say that. I
They
know it's an
are.
podcast, but like I said,
They're looking good. Sorry, that the game starts soon. I mean, we got the Eagles versus the 49ers, so I don't know if I would say that this was a down week per se. Um, I'm trying to think of what games. I'm pulling it up now. Seahawks
so
Cowboys is a pretty good. I mean, that's one of the better Thursday night games we've had all season too.
yeah, that was a really good Thursday one. And then if I'm looking it up right now, yes, on this high quality internet content right now that we're doing, the only really good one was Chiefs Packers and Bengals Jaguars, and then this in the 49ers Eagles, which turned out not to be a good game. So there's maybe like four games I could probably like, and then maybe Broncos Texans.
Yeah, I mean, there were some good games. I think in terms of just big time matchups, like Chiefs at Packers is definitely a game you would circle on the calendar. I think. So
Yeah,
I'd
if
say
this was like
overall they had a solid week and schedule.
yeah, I don't think it was like bad. It just maybe like has like maybe a bunch of clunkers, and then there's like some really good ones, I will say.
Yeah.
So anyway, we will talk about. So like I said, for this week, the Bills had a bye, so I kept them on the 4. Ravens still an 8. Raiders still a 3. Giants 2. Actually Bears, your favorite team, Douglas. The Bears 2, and the Vikings a darn 6.
Nice.
So we will start. We only have to do 13, but actually, wait for it. I forgot about one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Got some sad news.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, we're going to not talk about one team this week, and that is the Panthers. Our first eliminated team in the NFL. It took 13 damn weeks.
Yeah.
We
For
got to do our eulogy on the Florida Panthers, which I
well,
will say
okay.
I
This isn't
gave.
hockey.
Yes,
This
I
is
know.
the NFL. That's not Florida. These are the Carolina Panthers. Don't
Oh,
disrespect Bryce like that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is the Panther team that sucks. How about that? How
Yeah,
about
that's
that?
fair. Not the almost Stanley Cup champions, that's for sure.
Yes, I will say I did go to this a Florida Panthers game, and I'm still surprised. How did they make it to the Stanley Cup? Ow! I
Oh,
know this is a football podcast, but still, they weren't even gonna make it when I.
that was fun. It was a fun hockey playoffs. Nice when Boston doesn't win.
Yeah, I hope Boston doesn't win. Yeah, I don't want to. But anyway, like back to the Panthers that suck.
Mm-hmm.
I gave a 3 this season. What was your thoughts on the eulogy on the Panthers season that has turned out to be an absolute tire fire?
I mean, it's a little bit of a disappointment. I don't think there's any need for huge panic. I think it's kind of the NFL has become so based on instant gratification, but it's let Bryce Young develop. No need to get a little bit too crazy. You were worse than expected, but you got some young pieces. Hopefully, Bryce Young turns out to be a superstar, but don't completely panic yet. You'll have a rough few years. As the Lions fan, have been there. Trust the process. Hopefully, you make a good hire or two, and things can only go up from here. You're not going to stay at a 1-win NFL team for too long.
Now, I will say, Douglas, and this is my opinion on the Panthers. I started out giving them the 3. I didn't have high expectations for the Panthers. Let's be honest. Like, I didn't think anything good. I feel like this is like, and this is like my opinion, this team was like a D before the season started, and it turned out to be an F.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm not that surprised. I think I probably put them at the bottom 10 worst NFL teams right now, preseason. And now they're probably the worst NFL team right now. They're probably going to not get that number 1 overall pick and give it to the Bears.
Well, yeah,
But-
that's the big unfortunate part is you got rid of DJ Moore on that number 1 pick next year, which really stings when you have Caleb Williams. That'll probably be a better pro prospect than Bryce Young, but that stings a little bit.
It stings a little bit, but like I said, I think the Panthers team is going to be bad. I mean, like I said, you've already fired your coach. And you know the crazy part is the coach wanted CJ Stroud. He didn't want Chase Young.
Yeah.
And he was forced to get Chase Young, and it's just like, so I mean, this is probably I don't think Panthers fans were ever like, oh my goodness, we were going to do well. We're going to go to the Super Bowl, baby. But it is what it is. They fired the coach. I hate to say it. I think they're going to be the Browns of the 2000s, 2010s. I think they're going to be the Lions of the 2000s, where they're just year after year, maybe a decade where they just like stink.
Well, hopefully not. There's been teams that turn around quick, but it definitely stinks if Bryce Young is not the guy. Then if Bryce Young is not a franchise QB, then you're probably right.
Yeah,
a lot into getting Bryce Young, that's for sure.
If Bryce Young becomes Deshaun Kaiser for the Browns, and if you remember, Deshaun Kaiser was not great for the Browns, and Hugh Jackson was a terrible coach.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully that doesn't happen with the Panthers, but we'll see. So I will say this: since the Panthers are officially out of the playoffs, we will not discuss any more Panthers games from here on out, since they're out of the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll still discuss their opponents, right?
Yes, we will discuss every opponent that we're playing against the Panthers if they're still around, but no Panthers. But
no Panthers.
But like I said, we are down 1 down, Douglas. 29 teams we will have to eulogize before we get to the Super Bowl.
Look forward to it.
We will look forward to it. So we got to start off with my favorite game of the week, where America's team, Dallas Cowboys, finally beat a team over 500 records this season in the Seahawks, 41-35. What was your thoughts on this great Thursday night game for my boys?
I mean, honest thought, I don't think the Cowboys should necessarily move up unless they beat the Eagles this week. Because, like, while they won, I don't know. I honestly thought the Cowboys were going to blow them out. And, like, I was kind of disappointed to see how much the Seahawks hung in by. So, like, I was a little bit surprised at the Cowboys defense. Because, like, it's the first team they've beaten with a 500 record. And they're just 6-6. So it's not like if they go out and beat the Eagles, different story. Not overly impressed with beating the 6-6 Seahawks.
Yeah, I think honestly, and this is my opinion, Douglas, I'm okay. I'm like semi-impressed. I did feel like the defense could have done a little bit better on stopping up points. They did do good towards the end and getting up pressure from Geno Smith. But I think, you know what? I think they're still the strongest wildcard team, and hands down, they're still the strongest wildcard team right there. And I feel like if there wasn't with the Eagles division, with the NFC East, I bet you the Cowboys would be guaranteed division.
Well, here's the thing, though. They win this week against the Eagles, and the division's a coin flip.
Yeah, honestly, I think the Cowboys get the division, and then do they get the number 1 bye?
No.
No, I think the
49ers
get it because they had a head matchup if they still have the same record.
Yeah, 49ers had the head-to-head, but Cowboys are still definitely one of the better teams in the NFC, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
I don't hope, but if they beat the Eagles, that'll be a big sign.
Yes. Honestly, I think I agree with you. I think they're still the 7. If they can beat the Eagles, I think I might put them up. I'll definitely put them up at an 8. But
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
yeah, but like I said, they're in a good spot. I do think they're going to win a playoff if they still stay in the wild card game. I mean, division. I think they are going to beat whoever the NFC South coin flip. One of those four teams. I think it's not even going to be a close game. I will be honest. I think it will be a blowout.
Mm-hmm.
But we're now going to talk about another team that's now out that went from like the 6th position right now, Douglas,
Mm-hmm.
to now number 9. We went all the way down from the playoffs to out of the playoffs right now, in the theoretical playoffs right now.
Yeah, and the schedule doesn't get easier. They play the 49ers and the Eagles.
Again, and I'm just like, I do not feel confident. I feel like I got to give them the 5. They're out of the playoffs. They might have a shot, maybe, if they can beat it, but I just do not think they're going to have to hold on. They have a tough schedule, and I don't think they're going to do it. I don't know.
I agree. I don't. If I had to say now, if I thought they'd make the playoffs, I would guess no.
No, they didn't win a clutch game. They couldn't win that clutch game against the Cowboys. So, unfortunately, it's a 5 for the Seahawks. We'll see how it goes, but I am kind of worried that they're not going to make the playoffs right now.
Agree.
Now, we talked about the one greatest game of all time. Are you going to talk about the second greatest game of all time? And second greatest game, I mean the worst game in the history of this season's NFL. The Chargers versus the Patriots. Oh, God. What an awful game. 6 points. Total.
Yeah.
6 points. 2 field goals.
Yeah. There's not really much to say. Like this is one of those games that it just doesn't feel like it's worth talking about. Like the Chargers with all of that skill, you can only put up 6 points. Like you don't deserve to move up from a 3 for a 6-0 win.
And against a 1. Let's be honest. It's not even like this wasn't like the world beaters right there. I don't care if it's the damn weather. It's the Patriots who are garbage right now, who are going to be eliminated, most likely.
Yeah.
I mean, even Doug has blown his nose about like how much the Chargers are terrible right now.
Like I said last week, they're the second most disappointing team for me all season. And like I just don't get it because this is a team that scored 41 against like the Lions or something like that. Let's look.
Like look at this. They're 10 against the Ravens. They did lose against the Ravens. Lost, but gave up 20. 38 points against the Lions.
Yeah, and they still lost. They put up 34 against the Dolphins. They're a good offensive team. Like it just no. Like you pointed out, the Patriots are unbelievably bad this year. They weren't even starting Mac Jones. Like that shutout's nothing to be impressed about. Like probably the second or third worst offense in the league.
And it's so bad because it's like funny because Ron Rivera, I definitely blame the head coach for the Chargers. And it's so bad because there was like this report, like him talking to this reporter, and he just got snappy at him. And he's like, I'm doing the defensive calls right now. I'm the one that's in charge. And it's just like, it kind of feels like that situation where it's like, oh, it's like those bad coaches that are like those bad coaches highlight reels of like NFL where it's like, remember that one guy for the Colts is like, playoffs.
Yeah.
Or like we can't beat them. Or it's like it's like when you argue with your team, it's like at this point, when players don't respect you, when you're in the Bill O'Brien situation, they don't respect you no more. That's not good.
It's not good.
It's not good. So they're still getting the 3, and then man, these Patriots, they suck.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything other than a 1. Like, I don't see how you score 0 points and go up. So
No, you literally scored 0 points. You had a bad rushing attack. You couldn't do anything in this game. I don't care if it's bad weather. You had the ball for 31 times. Like, I'm looking at the stats. You had, and your backup, like Bailey Zapp, only had 141 yards passing, and 15 out of 25 passing completions.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, those aren't great stats. You wouldn't
They're-
expect great stats in a shutout.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, so they're definitely the one. And I'm going to say it. Patriots are going to be next. They're going to be heading to the Panthers. We might not be discussing them pretty darn soon.
I'm surprised they're not eliminated already.
Yes. We got to talk about this rain delay.
Mm-hmm.
And that was probably the only good thing the Steelers had in that game highlight reel. Because they lost bad.
Like, this is why I've been so hesitant on the Steelers. Because there's certain teams that you can just, like, tell if a team can make them uncomfortable, they're just going to blow them out. Like, they got embarrassed by the Cardinals.
We're 15th. We're 15th in the NFC. Ranked 15 right now. 3-10.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Kyler's back. Like I've been saying too. Like we've been kind of higher on the Cardinals than maybe the record would suggest, but it's because of this. Like they have Kyler back. They got some decent pieces. Like if they can go out and get Marvin Harrison next year, be a fun team to watch.
Yeah. Now I guess we should start about the Cardinals. Let's start about this. They are technically 15.
Mm-hmm.
Do we give them a 3 because they beat the Steelers? Even though, granted, they are like 15th in the NFC right now. I mean, that's like a weird thing because, like,
I was just at the game 2 weeks ago that they got blown out by the Rams, and like, yeah, they lost them. And no, not yet. Like if they are competitive, no, they have a bye week. Yeah, they're in a bye week.
Yeah. So who do they got to play against?
49ers. Next.
49ers. That's gonna be a tough one. Bears. That's a coin flip. Eagles and Seahawks. Man, they have a tough schedule right there. I think they might win like one game left.
Yeah, they might sneak out one more win. So I'm like, I don't see why we would bump them up necessarily. It was a good win. Show us some consistency.
Yeah,
You're pretty much out of the playoffs. Your season's over.
Now I will say the Steelers. You lost Kenny Pickett right now. He is out. The football gods took him out.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, is he out for the rest of the season?
I don't think so.
I know it was an ankle injury. If I remember correctly, I can look up. I just want to double. Yes, in this highly acclaimed news organization podcast right now, we're doing.
He had surgery, so maybe he has. I haven't been keeping up that much with that. Yeah. Kenny Pickett underwent ankle surgery to accelerate the healing process. He'll be out Thursday against the Patriots. They said it's not a season-ending injury, though.
Okay. So we have no.
Okay, let's out this week. He's gonna play against. They're gonna play the Patriots though, so like they can win with you out there at quarterback. So like,
you're telling me I would do? Would you? Okay. Oh, that's a good question. So you're telling me I would do? We're just gonna run the ball if I was the quarterback.
That's all you need to do. Like you could be the most predictable offense ever, and you're still gonna beat this Patriots team.
Oh my God! You could have John O'Corn as the QB. And they're still gonna win.
Oh man, but yeah, I don't know, where do we rank the Steelers though?
I mean, they're technically still in the playoffs right now. Like they're still in it, but they would play against the Chiefs, and I don't think they're beating the Chiefs. They're not beating the Chiefs.
No, I mean I think a 6 is still fair. Like they're still very solidly within the playoffs. Like I don't know, they seem like a 6. You already put down a 6. 6 is good.
Yeah, I don't think there's really any like bad spot putting in right there. So Steelers fans, I'm sorry, they're still 6. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Now, a crazy game where I thought the Titans were going to win, but somehow the Colts won in overtime. That was a crazy game.
Good for them.
31-28. I know the Colts had a bad game, but they won it. They got the dub on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Like Gardner Minshew.
Well, I mean, the Colts would be in the playoffs right now.
Yes, they're in the playoff contention right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're 7-5, same record as the Steelers. They've been playing some good football.
Yeah, honestly, and they would play against Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, didn't they beat Baltimore this year, though?
Did they beat Baltimore?
I don't know. I feel like they did, but I might be wrong.
Let me check. Did they beat Baltimore?
They did. They beat them in overtime.
Oh, that was like week 1, or is that earlier?
I have it as week 3.
Oh yeah, they did beat them in overtime. Oh God, that's a good question. Can they beat Baltimore? But Baltimore, I feel like, is a lot more stronger now.
Yeah, I mean, I still think a 6. Like, you just went to overtime with the Titans. Like, you're not like a world beater yet, but you know, you're good. You're a good team.
Yeah, and that's a good question. I should ask on our elite podcasting skills. Has Gardner Minshew ever made it to a playoff game in his
Oh
career?
yeah, yeah, I think so. I think he made it with the Jaguars.
Oh yeah. She was with the Jaguars a little bit, right?
Yeah, like they had a couple of really nice teams there. Like they went to that AFC Championship game.
Oh, he was part of the Legion of He was part of Saxonville, right?
I think so. Yeah.
And that's so sad because, like, literally, they like Saxonville sacked themselves the year after.
Yeah, that was sad. Like I was excited
Yeah.
for them to maybe turn a corner, and they just went back to irrelevancy.
Yeah, that was the 180 of a year where you went from like AFC Championship to like, God, this team's a joke.
Yeah, that was wild.
Now we gotta talk about these Titans. Another game. They are technically, let me check. They are now 15th. The Jets have a better chance of making the playoffs than the Titans.
Yeah, they're sitting on the same record though. Like I don't think you can make a 4-win team a 1. So like it seems like a solid 2. Like you lost again, you're competitive, but your season's over.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I think their season's over, and I mean, granted, they probably have like let me think, 3% odds. This is a good question. What is more likely to happen? You getting bitten by a shark, Douglas, or the Titans making the playoffs right now?
Well, considering that I live in the desert, I would say the Titans making the playoffs.
Wow! I don't know. I feel like they're both anomalies, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, if I go to the ocean soon, I'll let you know. Then we can do that question.
Yeah, that is a good question because it's like it's very rare, but it's probably very rare the Tennessee Titans is going to be.
Yeah.
It's just like, man, this Titan. I wonder how Titans fans feel about it, and also King Henry's out now. That's not good. I know he's kind of past his prime right now, but that's still not good. Yeah, this is not good.
They're heading towards a rebuild.
Yeah, and it's sad because weren't they rebuilding a couple years ago?
Yeah, then they had that weird year or two where they were like the number 1 seed, but then of course they didn't quite do anything with it.
Yeah,
kind of feels similar to a Jacksonville almost, where it's like you had your chance. Like there's certain teams where it's like you get 1 or 2 seasons, you peak, and then you better do something.
Oh yeah, that was without King Henry, and then he came in the playoffs, and then they just womp womp womp. Now speaking of womp womp womps, I guess we got flashbacks for Russell Wilson since he lost to the Texans, trying to throw a goal line touchdown and got intercepted.
That was the saddest play for my Sunday. I had a parlay. I hit 6 out of 7. If Ross makes that play, I would have won it. And he threw that interception, and that made me sad.
That just sucks. How do you feel if you're like Russell Wilson? Because it's just like you had that play in the Super Bowl, which ended your dynasty. Like theoretically, that ended the Seahawks dynasty of making the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They could have been back-to-back Super Bowl champs, but no, we decided to have the Patriots be the dynasty of that one.
Yeah.
And now you're with the Broncos. You're doing a little bit better, and you do that touchdown again.
Well, I saw like a whole like 5-minute YouTube video on like just NFL players roasting Russ, and I just felt bad for the dude. Like, he's cringy, sure, but like, why do we gotta roast him like this?
Are you telling me the Let's Ride is not the cringiest thing last year?
Oh, that was right up there. Like, it was super cringe. Like, he deserves it, to be fair. Like, that was especially like when you make a comment like that, and then you have just an abysmal season. Did you see that YouTuber that was doing? Will Russell throw more touchdowns, or will he have more bathrooms in his house? It went until like week 16 or 17 because Russell Wilson just kept not throwing touchdowns.
I still remember last year when Patrick Starr roasted Russell Wilson when he got an interception. That was not what he wanted to cook.
Exactly. Like the poor dude has just been getting it from everywhere, under the sea, everywhere one can think of.
Oh my God. Even inanimate animals have roasted Russell Wilson. And now the ride never ends. Technically, the Broncos are 6-6. They're number 9.
Yeah, they still feel like a 5 to me. Like they lost a game that they were expected to lose. Like they played really well. I mean, really well is a strong statement. They were competitive.
Okay. They did okay, but they couldn't do that the same way. They couldn't win that game in the end.
Exactly. Yeah, they weren't quite clutching up, but they had won 5 straight. You have a chance. I'm a Broncos fan. It'd be nice to see them make a run.
I mean, I wouldn't mind the Broncos making the playoffs and doing well, but they're at least doing a lot better than what I expected. I mean, I gave them I gave the Broncos a 5, so I basically gave the exact same expectations. It's just, I guess my expectation when they went down to a 1, they done a lot better. So
yeah, it's been a bumpy road, but they've gotten there.
Now, interestingly, the Texans are not in the playoffs picture.
Yeah.
They would theoretically still not make the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
They are technically knocking on playoffs door against the Colts because I think they lost to the Colts, and that's why I think the Colts are ahead of them. I think they're still 5 for right now. I mean, I don't think that that's like bad. You did okay, an okay win against the Broncos.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they feel like just a 5.
Yeah, so I don't think anything really changes on that one. On that.
Oh, sorry. One quick second.
Yes, don't worry. We are commentating right now on the greatness of what is happening on this podcast. Yes. We will see how long until Douglas will come back. And now Douglas has now came back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh my God. Did you like my roasting commentary a little bit?
That was pretty funny.
Was...
Man, oh man. Sorry, I love working with the kids, but man, oh man, I get sick about every other week.
Don't worry. Timmy's are having a better day than what Russell Wilson is. I'm just saying.
Heck yeah.
Now, speaking of who's having a better day, Lions fans did really well the first half. I was a little bit nervous you're going to lose that game, but you still hold on.
It wasn't the cleanest of games, that's for sure.
Not the best game. It wasn't the cleanest game, but at least you hold it on. You know, you did have a 21-point lead at one point in the first quarter. You almost could have lost that one, but you at least hold it and got the win.
Well, it's wild because, like, the Lions have, like, a legitimate shot at the 1 seed still.
Yeah, that is still the craziest part. They have a 1 seed. Yeah, they're still at the 1 seed right now. And that is crazy.
I mean, I don't, because in all honesty, the entire, like, bracketing could come down to the Lions, Cowboys, and on, like, New Year's Eve or whatever. Like, that would be pretty wild. Could you imagine Lions, Cowboys for the 1 seed?
Oh my God. Who would have thought a world where the Lions and the Cowboys would be fighting for a 1 seed? If you told me this like 5 years ago, 7 years ago, Patricia era.
Well, like, I think too, like, they've just been waiting until we made a YouTube channel, it seems like.
Yeah. Yeah,
like they just wanted you to get on camera to start for both of our teams. I mean, I guess we had that playoff game in what, like 2016? Or was that
2015, yeah, and then you lost, and then I unfortunately had to deal with Des Bryant missing a catch that was still a catch.
Yeah. It's been a fun decade, I feel like, for football. It'd be nice if the Patriots didn't win so many Super Bowls, but other than that, it's been fun.
Yeah, other than that, I mean, yeah, but who knows? Who knows how this decade is? Maybe it's the freaking Chiefs winning a bunch of Super Bowls. We'll see.
That's possible, yeah.
But anyway, we should talk about So I feel like for these Lions, Douglas, I feel like they're still a 7 for right now. I feel like they're doing okay. You know, granted, I feel like the only I think if honestly, I would only give them the 8. We'll see if they get the number 1 spot. And I feel like if they can beat the Cowboys or the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, I think more specifically the Cowboys.
Yeah,
like,
honestly.
We just saw the Vikings lose to the Bears. I'm like, not super impressed with. I mean, the Vikings are a fun story, but theoretically, the Lions versus the Cowboys should have a lot on the line, which would make it a ton of fun.
I think honestly it's going to be so much fun. I mean, we'll see. Well, I'm going to be. I can't wait. December 30th. We're going to talk about it. I can't wait. Which still makes me laugh that I don't know why, and this is my off tangent. Why do we not have the game at Lion Stadium and not at Cowboy Stadium twice?
What do you mean? Like last time they played, it was at AT&T?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be kind of fun. Then you could go see the Cowboys too.
Like I had to go and have my Cowboys go to a garbage Panthers game at Carolina, but yet we can't have the Cowboys game at Lion Stadium.
Wouldn't that be fun? Like, oh man, this is off topic too, Stu, because this just might be the year that me and you butt heads. What do we do if the Wolverines and Longhorns make the college football finals?
Oh, it's Quinn Ewers. It's Mullet Man time, baby. Hook 'em them horns. We are going to win. We're going to win a national championship. Hook 'em them horns. We're taking down Washington. You got nothing on the greatness of our nation.
Nice.
Yes. We are superior. Texas college football team. It ain't A&M. It ain't Baylor. Baylor's a joke. What about Rice? No. Rice, you ain't got nothing. It's Longhorns. And it's in Austin. We're the capital for the reason.
Do you know what I like about this playoff too? Like, this is going to be a weird thing. Like, I like how spread out the teams are to some extent too. You know, like it's kind of a bummer when it's like Clemson, Georgia, Ohio State, and you're like got one narrow range of states. Like you're going from Washington down to Texas. Like you got the whole country kind of potentially rooting for a squad. Love it.
Yeah, I definitely do think it's actually fun. But I will say, when we get to our tier 32 team playoff, theoretically, we will talk about the greatness and the genius of the college football picking these four teams and not have any complaints about what's happening.
Oh my goodness, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't really frustrated that Florida State missed out.
Yeah.
Like, did you see that the who was it, DeSantis is suing the like playoff committee? Yeah, like that's like the latest story that they're gonna get money together and they're gonna sue like the people that made the pick.
This is why honestly we need a 12-team playoff. Honestly,
next year we got it.
Next year we got it because I feel like after this point, like unless there's like maybe not a Power 5, I know this is off topic, but maybe when we discuss it with our college football 32 teams, I feel like there's no one that's going to complain unless it's like a non-Power 5 that's undefeated. Like that's going to be like.
Well, I mean, even in that case, like I think that they would probably sneak into a 12-teamer.
Yeah, I think honestly.
I mean, unless, like, with all due respect, if it's, like, maybe, like, I don't know. Well, not important. 12 teams will probably solve a lot of issues, but that 13th team will still be mad.
Yep, that 13th team will be mad. It's like a NCAA March Madness. That 69 team is so mad that we didn't make the playoffs. I can't believe it. It should have been our team getting our butts whooped in the 16th seed against Virginia.
Yeah, no doubt.
But anyway, so we got to talk about these Saints who are not the Aints.
Yeah. Well, I think we talked about dropping them down, too, because, like, they're now, what, like 4-7?
Yeah, honestly, they get the 4, in my opinion. Like, they're, like, I know that the Falcons are still, like, in a 6 or 6, but it's, like, what's the point? Like, I feel like it's just, like, the Saints team is good. You came back. This division is not good.
Mm-hmm.
Like Derek Carr was not the answer to get you the Super Bowl. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I thought he'd be better there, in all honesty.
Yeah, I honestly didn't think that. I would be honest with you. I didn't think Derek Carr was going to be good for that, and I also didn't think the Raiders with their QB was going to be good, just because adding him. I think honestly, a lot of teams, and this is my opinion, I think a lot of teams got the wrong impression of why the Rams won that Super Bowl. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I think there's very few instances. I mean, granted, there's been 2 in recent memory, but we're signing a veteran quarterback wins the Super Bowl.
3 if you count Peyton Manning. Sorry. Peyton Manning.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. So I mean that's 3 in the last 10 years. I mean I get the idea. I mean, the Saints have one of the better defenses. They have Olave, they have Kamara, they have, they have some dudes. I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed with them. They should be a better team. Like
Yeah,
Jameis Winston kind of looked better than Derek Carr, I thought.
and that's sad. That's sad. I mean, Jameis Winston, they needed that's a Saints fans cringing moment of like, oh God, why, why did we have this man? Now we got to talk about this great game, and the ride never ends for the Jets to lose another game against the Falcons.
Oh my gosh! Like, if I had a Christmas wish, well, I guess it was just a normal time game. If we do not have to see the Jets on primetime TV for the rest of the season, that would be phenomenal. Like, I'm so over this team and their offensive woes. My goodness.
And it's sad because I think they benched Tim Boyle now. Who do they have as a quarterback now? Do they go Zach Wilson, who's not good? Tim Boyles is not good. Or like
they announced today that they're going to oh wait, no, never mind. I lied. I'm talking about the Giants. I'm sorry. The Giants are apparently keeping Tommy DeVito as their QB.
Okay, that's fine with Tommy DeVito, but like, what do you do if you're the Jets? And then I know like there's this rumors that Rodgers is going to come back. I know he's doing training.
Why?
Honestly, why would you want Rodgers to come? This team ain't going to come back. It's not like if they win the rest of their games, like they got to play against the Texans, Dolphins, Commanders, Brownies, Patriots. Like they're not.
If they win out, they might not make the playoffs.
Like honestly, I think the season's over. Just cash the season in. Just get the backup at this point, or just get the just let Zach Wilson just play.
Yeah. No, I hope they play Zach Wilson. Like, it stinks, but like let the dude get comfortable. Then let him learn from Rodgers for 2 years, and then maybe you'll have yourself a quarterback.
Yeah, that was a problem. I think they were hoping that was the game plan, and then I don't think Zach Wilson was ready. So, all right, we'll talk about the Falcons first, since they're now.
This has been the most sidetracked.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm focused.
I'm sorry. Hey, I'm focused too. I'm like everybody. You gotta be focused, Douglas. This is the most high quality YouTube that we're talking about, and not low quality.
Our 8 fans are counting on us, Stu.
I know, and they're all like, "Man, these hacks don't know what they're doing." But anyway,
hey, that's okay. We do it for the love of the game.
We do it for the love of the game, and also for the trolling. For me.
Yeah. All right. Falcons. I think they're 6.
Yeah, I think honestly they have the winning record. They're 500, so I give them a 6. I mean, granted, I feel like it's not really earned 6, but it's like they're at least doing okay.
Yeah, I mean they've improved a lot. Like they're another fun team to me because I thought they were just going to kind of fall off the cliff, and they've turned it around. I'm proud of them.
Which is funny because I actually did pick the Falcons to actually make the playoffs.
Yeah, is that some 2s you have in there for them too?
Oh yeah, I had a. Let me check. The whole season I had was like 6, 5, 5, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, 5. Yeah, 6. Look at this. So it took a while.
They went all the way down to a 3, so that's a nice little turnaround.
Yeah, but to be fair, that's because the division is trash. I feel like if there's any other division, they would probably be still stuck on the 3.
Well, here's the thing, though. I mean, we have the Vikings at a 6 with the same record. We have the Seahawks as what do we put the Seahawks at? Are they still a 6?
They're a 5 because they're on the playoff picture right now. I mean,
they have a hard schedule left, but like the Vikings are sitting there with the 6 too, so I don't feel bad about the Falcons getting a 6.
Now I should ask Douglas, who would you rather have in the playoffs, the Falcons or the Rams? I'd rather have the Rams.
Like, who would I rather play against, or what team would I rather be?
I'd rather be
the Rams.
Yeah, I honestly would rather the Rams. I would rather have the Packers. I feel like the Packers are fun. So I know you don't like the Packers.
I would rather. Hey, this is a non-biased podcast. I've been enjoying the Packers. Like, to see them beat the Chiefs, like it felt like slight validation from the Lions losing to them that it wasn't like a fluke. But the Packers look good. Jordan Love looks good. They're just a team that's starting to peak, and it's a little bit scary.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the Lions have a 3-game lead in the division.
No, unfortunately, we got to talk about the sad.
Let's not. Let's just give them a 2 and move on.
You were like, man, you know what?
I've heard all of these analysts roast the Jets for 13 weeks. I can't add anything that they haven't heard already.
Honestly,
they have been roasted for the last 3 months.
Honestly, I will say it. Last week, 1 play, 2 plays represents Jets season right there. Getting an interception and throwing a pick 6 at 97 yarders. That is just 1 second reel of that's the Jets season right now. They're just that bad and that awful. So Jets, I gotta say, have fun on your vacations in January because you're gonna be heading out soon.
Don't rush Rodgers back.
Yes, do not rush Rodgers back. Honestly, don't rush Rodgers back. I don't care if Rodgers wants to do it. Don't rush him. You're gonna hurt him. Now, speaking of rushing, the Dolphins won decisively 45-15 against the Washington Commanders, which was not surprising, but still.
No, but I know we talked about this game last week, and it was another one of those exactly what we would have expected. So, still a fun game. The Dolphins, every week they get a little bit scarier to potentially play in the playoffs.
Now, this is the craziest part, Douglas. They are the number 1 seed right now as we speak for this week. It's the Dolphins number 1.
Yeah.
They get the bye. So, in my opinion, Douglas, they have to get the 8 just because you got the bye week.
Yeah, I agree.
And you only have to play 1 game in the NFC Championship.
Yeah. No, 100%. I mean, I feel like they're starting to prove me wrong. Tua's looking good. They're just Tyreek Hill is unguardable. They're the fastest team in the league. Them versus Baltimore, I would pay to watch that game. That'd be wild.
Yeah, I mean, granted, it is interesting because the last 3 games they've been on the winning streak. Raiders are not good. Jets are not good. And Commanders are not good. But But I will say they haven't faltered on those bad games. I feel like the only problem is Ravens have faltered a little bit.
Yeah.
Chiefs have faltered a little bit. I mean, they had granted, they had one tough opponent and then they lost another tough opponent, I guess, with the Packers. But I feel like, in my opinion, I think the Dolphins are in a better spot, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, though, because, that's where I get concerned with, the Lions and even the Steelers is they're letting even these close teams hang around recently, where the Dolphins just are taking care of business. They're not, playing down to their competition. I respect it.
Yes, I respect the Dolphins. I love how Tua has been doing good. This has been a really good, a great team right there. Honestly, this is probably the best. I'm trying to think, is this the best Dolphins team since Marino in the 90s?
They're probably up there.
Yeah.
I don't remember the Dolphins being all that exciting.
No, I mean, I guess I know Tua made it to the playoff a couple years last year, but I feel like they were But honestly, yeah. It is crazy to think that the Dolphins haven't done super well since the Marino days of the 90s. It is crazy to think that long.
It really is, isn't it?
Yes. Now, speaking of teams that have been losing for a long time, Commanders lost another game. So how bad is their losing streak? They lost. They've lost 4 games in a row right now.
Yeah, I mean they're tanking. I think this is another easy one. I mean, I see 2 straight 2s there. I mean, they're not going anywhere from there. I mean, maybe you can make a case for a 1, but we have so many 1s. They're not quite 1 status yet.
No, I feel like they're not as bad as the Patriots. I'm sorry. I don't think they're that bad. I mean, I'd still probably give them the 2 for right now. And I'm going to say this. Jack Del Rio is going to be – no, not the Patriots. No, Commanders coach is going to be the unemployment line pretty soon. He is going to get fired right now.
Yeah, most likely. They're kind of bottoming out, unfortunately.
Yeah, I kind of wonder how Eric Bieniemy is thinking right now. Just went from championship Chiefs being was it the offense coordinator, correct?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that move. Yeah, he was the offensive coordinator and made kind of a lateral move.
Yeah, he kind of made a lateral move and went to the Commanders. let's just say the coach gets fired. Do you hire Eric Bieniemy at that point?
I don't know. I mean, you maybe consider it, but you also got to look at what the offense has done and is he maximizing the talent you have? And there's a lot of factors. Like I could see it. Like
Or true. Or true, does Eric Bieniemy just doesn't want to be the head coach? There's sometimes maybe, you know what I mean?
That might also be the case. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I feel like I don't know. I mean, they're still two. I mean, I had no expectations for the Commanders, but they're kind of bad. But anyway, speaking of not bad games, we got to talk about the next one. Oh, the Panthers versus Buccaneers. So, like I said, we don't have to discuss the Panthers since they are eliminated. But the Bucs barely beat a garbage Panthers team right now.
I mean, I see a 3 last week. Like that feels right. Like you could maybe make a case for a 4, but like they're a bad team, and I think the Saints are genuinely better than them still. I don't know why, but I would pick the Saints.
And the crazy part is, I think the Panthers were in the lead at one point.
Yeah, I think
you should not be in the lead with a really bad team that's already tanking.
That's true. 3 seems fair.
Like I don't think I'm not impressed with the Buccaneers. I just feel like that they're. It sucks for Baker because I feel like this should have been I think this was the year that like Baker was going to break out, and now I feel like all the Brownie fans are like, I was right. He was washed.
Yeah, but then you got Deshaun, so it's like he's also washed. So it's like, what did you really accomplish? Like Baker would have done the exact same thing that any QB the Browns have is doing.
Yeah.
But I agree. I mean, shout out to Mike Evans though. 10 straight years of 1,000 yards.
Good for you, Mike Evans. Future Hall of Famer Mike Evans. I should say that since, like I said.
No doubt.
Guaranteed in the Hall of Fame. Oh, that's a good question. Is he guaranteed first ballot when he retires? 5 years?
I don't know much about Hall of Fame inductions, but if I had a vote, probably. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like he semi-quietly put up just insane numbers. Like, I would think so.
And I think it also sucks because he's a wide receiver, not the quarterback, because I feel like the quarterback's more famous. But I would honestly say Mike Evans is definitely the best wide receiver in the NFL. Even though, granted, he's on a garbage Buccaneers team right now. But he did get a ring. So, hey,
yeah.
You can't hate on that. Speaking of butt whoopings, we got to talk about these 49ers just butt whooping the Eagles right now.
Well, here's the nice thing. We already talked about this game last week. 49ers should be a 9.
I honestly, you know what? I think this team is going to the Super Bowl. I think, honestly, you dismantle both the Cowboys and the Eagles, the two best teams in the NFC.
Yeah.
Not even you didn't just beat you beat the Eagles at Eagle Stadium decisively.
Yeah. No, I mean they're without a doubt the best team in football. Like, I don't even think there's a point in like. I mean, I still want to play the games. So if the Eagles have home field advantage, that game would be fun still. But like, man, oh man, if the 49ers get home field advantage, the NFC is doomed.
Yeah, and it's crazy because one of the players just said it last year. Is like, if we had a quarterback, if Brock Purdy was not hurt, we would be in that Super Bowl. Well, I think you might be right.
Yeah, I guess they can prove it this year.
They can prove it this year. It's just as long as you don't have Brock Purdy get hurt. Please, football gods, don't hurt Brock Purdy.
Yeah. No, they're a fun team. Like, I would be okay with them making a deep run. Like, Brock Purdy is just such a fun story.
And honestly, I think that as a 49ers fan, it's been too long for them to not got a Super Bowl. So, granted, I would love my Cowboys to win a Super Bowl because, like I said,
hey, Lions are sitting there tied with the with both those teams. So let's just have the Lions do it.
No, I'm sorry. Back to the corner. Like, you get to stay in the corner right next to the Panthers and Browns fans and Jets fans.
Hey, eventually they'll get it done. Dan Campbell will win a Super Bowl.
Yes, we'll see how it goes. Now, this is a good question for the Eagles. They got decisively lost. It was not a good game. They did not look good against. They looked bad on offense, looked bad on defense, gave up so many points. I know it was a rainy game, but you lost this game at home. Not
Still
good.
an 8.
I think I thought about it. They're still the number 1 seed. I think they're still the 8 for right now. I feel like if they lose to the Cowboys, now hear me out. I was right about I remember maybe all these people that are Eagles haters. They're being mean to me because I was saying, hey, the Eagles have been closely beating these teams. They're closely beating these teams. Bad teams, good teams.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what's funny? The Eagles and the Lions have the same point differential at plus 41. So basically, that means that the Lions, who we both agree are like a good step below the Eagles, have the same amount of points, like scored more than the opponents.
Yes.
So it's like statistically, you're absolutely right because like the 49ers and the Cowboys have a way better point differential and are more consistently impressive.
Yes. Like I said, hopefully Dak becomes player MVP. I'm just saying he's definitely a player MVP candidate in my heart.
I mean, I feel like a lot of the Cowboys season, this might be dramatic, comes down to the Sunday.
Yeah.
Like if you guys lose to the Eagles, then all of a sudden you have to be a wild card, and then you're a wild card, and you have to go on the road for a lot of your games. If you win this week, potential number 1 seed, well, probably not because the 49ers beat you, but at least probably number 2 seed.
Yeah, and that's going to be tough because, like I said, they got the Cowboys next week. They got to play against the Seahawks there next week, who are basically trying to survive, have their season not die.
Mm-hmm.
And both of them are away games. That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah. The Eagles have to prove themselves these next 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
Yeah, this is the next 2 weeks. And then the last 3 are pretty much easy ones. Giants, Cardinals. Was it Commanders? Let me check. I think it's the Jets. Yeah, it's the Giants again.
Oh, yeah. Do we have the Giants at a 1? No, 2?
Yeah,
yeah, that's fine.
Yes, we gave them a 2. So I feel like this is like, so we'll see how the Eagles do it. Like I said, if they can prove they can beat the Cowboys, they can keep that number 1 seed. But I think if they start losing those last 2 or one of those games, I think honestly, maybe the Cowboys get the division.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I honestly think that whoever wins this game on Sunday will probably win the division.
Yeah.
This is a potential divisional championship game.
Yeah, this is division or bust for one of these teams, basically.
Yeah, I mean, if the Eagles win, they obviously have a 2-game advantage in the record, and they have the tiebreaker with head-to-head win victories. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, for the Cowboys to have any chance, they can't lose.
Mm-hmm. They cannot lose this one. Now, speaking of teams that can't lose now, but unfortunately they had to lose badly, the Brownies lost 1936.
Yeah, that one was surprising. Like, I played their defense in fantasy, and I'm very disappointed about it. I mean, they gave up 36 points, and that's where, I think you mentioned earlier, the Rams are a little bit scary because they're sitting there at 6-6. They just put up 2 36, 37-point games. One of them against one of the best defenses, like that Kyron Williams that they have. Mm-hmm. That dude is a stud. Like they're a scary team right now.
Yeah, the Rams are like chucking away. Now, granted, the Rams are still out of the playoffs right now because I think they lost to the Packers, I believe, if I remember correctly. Did they lose the Packers?
They might have. Either way, they're like right there, though. I mean, I think they're a 5 or a 6. Either one's fine.
But I think I'm probably going to give them the 5 because they're still out of the playoff range. But they still look good. It's like a solid 5 right now. They're the best 5 team in the NFL right now. How about that?
I'd agree with that. I mean, who wants to see them in the playoffs? They still have Aaron Donald. Stafford's getting more accurate. They have a good running game. They have 2, 3 good receivers. Team I would not want to play in the NFC, that's for sure.
And look at that. I improved. I gave them a 3 in the preseason, and look at that. They're now 5.
I would love Stafford to make another playoff run or 2. So.
Yeah, I think that probably would be kind of good if Stafford and not just feel like that was a one fluke. Like they made the Super Bowl, not like they fluked their way, but like they put their eggs in that Super Bowl basket, and then it's just like it worked out. But like after that, nothing. Yeah, now we got bad news for the Brownies. The Brownies. So 2 interceptions for Joe Flacco. I can't believe Joe Flacco is still in the NFL. I did not know that Joe Flacco until this week was still in the NFL.
Well, he was just signed off the couch like a week ago. So you did not know because it did not exist.
Yes. Browns are not in a good spot.
They're
I know.
not. I think they're still in the playoffs, though, aren't they?
They're crazily enough, they're number 6, but
Yeah.
I would
I think they have to stay at a 6 just because of that fact. Like
like
they're
they're
like
not
kind of like
staying.
the Rams are like a super high 5. The Browns are a super low 6.
Yeah, I honestly feel like that they. And then the Browns got to play against the Jaguars. That's going to be a tough a game.
It
They got
is,
to
yeah.
play against the
But
Bears.
they might get to play against the Jaguars without Trevor Lawrence, though.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. But like, it's Joe Flacco versus a backup. Oh God, it's the backups versus the backups.
Heck yeah, we just had a backup bowl last night.
Yeah,
Jake
we have a
Browning versus I forgot who was playing for the Jags, but
Oh yeah, but it's like it is crazy to think that that the Browns are still 6, but I don't think they're going to be a 6 for long. I'm sorry, this stock
no,
is going down.
yeah, it's a stock that's crashing, but you can't crash it before they officially crash because you never know.
You may never know. But now, interestingly enough, we got an upset alert because the Packers, even though they had the Chiefs had a 5-point spread in this game, won this game,
Yeah, good for them.
and they had the game in control for most of the game.
The Packers are arriving. It's kind of sad. I hope that the Lions can do something this year because the Packers aren't far behind again.
Yeah, honestly, is Jordan Love going to be like the new Aaron Rodgers, or is this like? I mean, I was joking that the Packers were heading back to the 1980s. I mean, I gave the Packers a 2 right now at one point, like week 8. And now they've won. Okay, how many games in a row have they won? They have won 1, 2, 3 games in a row right now.
Yeah, they're in a roll. And it's not like they've beaten bad teams either.
The Chargers are the only one that's bad, but the last 2 are pretty much good decisive wins. So
Yeah.
I think, and they're still in the playoffs, theoretical. So I got to give the Packers the 6.
Perfect.
Now, this is a good question. I should think about it. Can the Packers win a playoff game? Can the Packers be the first 7 seed? Because they would play against the 49ers. Well, actually, the 49ers, and they're not beating the 49ers. No way. They're not beating the 49ers. Never mind. I thought it was the Lions or something like that. I was like, oh, whoops. No. They would get killed by the 49ers. I'm sorry.
Yeah, probably.
Now this is a good question. We got to go back to the Chiefs. They've been faltering. Lost.
Did they lose 2 in a row?
No, they did not. But they beat the Raiders decisively. Yeah. But technically, they did lose.
After. Do you remember that game though? They were down 14-0 in that game too, or something, or 13-0. So like even that game, like the final score was good, but like they started off super slow.
And, they were struggling a little bit in that one last week. So
yeah, I mean Travis Kelce hasn't been getting a lot of targets. Like the Chiefs just look off. Like there's just something off about this year's Chiefs.
Like this is the crazy part. They're not number 1 or number 2 right now. I believe they're number 3. Yes, they're number 3.
Yeah. I mean, they've lost 4 games. Like that's a good amount for the Chiefs.
Yeah, this is I don't know. Maybe they're just having their bad mojo. Maybe this is like when the 49ers had like that bad like losing streak. But honestly, I feel like I got to give them the 7 right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. They seem like a 7.
Yeah, which is crazy because let me try to think. There was like one time I gave him. Why did I give him a 7? Was it against the? I think was it against what was it, week 8?
Oh, they lost a really bad game.
Oh, they lost the Broncos badly. Yeah.
That was before the Broncos won 5 straight too. So like, I feel differently about that loss now, but still, the Broncos gave up 70 points to the Dolphins and beat the Chiefs. That's how wild the NFL is.
Yeah, that's how wild that one is. Now, the wildest game I watched on Monday Night Football, watching the Manning cast, which is actually really good. I will admit, I do love the Manning cast. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, me too. I like them.
Oh my God, when they had Chad Okocinco at the Manning cast with sunglasses on. I don't know why he was wearing sunglasses on television. That's so weird.
What a guy.
What a guy, Chad Okocinco. But my God, I could not. I watched that whole game. It was crazy, and the Bengals won the game.
Yeah, what a wild one, huh?
That was a crazy game in overtime. 1 minute left. No, it was a minute and 40 left. Minute 45. Kicked the field goal.
Mm-hmm.
It is crazy to think. So what do we put these Bengals? This is like the crazy. So they lost Joe Burrow out for the year. The football gods decided to take him out, and Jake Browning did okay, decently.
I'll say he did more than okay. My goodness, that was one of the best games I've seen all season.
Yeah,
I think he completed like 80+% of his passes, like 350 something yards. Dude balled out.
like this is crazy to think. So where we got to put the Bengals? I think they're the 4 right now. They're 10th right now. I think they're a solid 4.
Yeah, I think they bounce back.
I think that they went. I think this win basically survived their season right now. They went from maybe like a 15% odds of making the playoffs to maybe like a 25 now.
Yeah, that was a huge win for them for sure.
That's a huge decisive win. Now, unfortunately, Trevor Lawrence got hurt.
Yeah.
Another football. The football gods have been ruthless against these quarterbacks right now. I'm just saying, why NFL script writers? Why you have to be mean?
Well, if we're the college football playoff committee, we'll drop the Jaguars completely out of the rankings.
Yeah, get them a 1. They get the 1. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding.
They lost their quarterback. They're a different team.
Yeah, they get the 1. No, honestly, okay. So the Jaguars, theoretically, they're still 4th.
Yeah.
They're still like.
Yeah, if the 6.5 existed, that would be this team.
Yeah, so they would play against the Steelers, and it's just like.
I'd like them to beat the Steelers, but I also don't like the Steelers. So
I don't like the Steelers too, but I'm like, can they beat the Steelers? I know I gave them the 6, but it's like, which backup quarterback is going to win a game?
Well, hopefully Trevor Lawrence is back soon.
Yeah, that is true. If it's just like a sprained ankle, right? Is that what they say?
Yeah, I think high ankle sprain. I mean, if I have to look at overall roster, that's a tough one though. You got a point. So, I mean, the Steelers' defense is just amazing. The Jaguars have a lot of really good athletes too. I don't know. It'll be a fun game.
I think for right now, I'm going to give them the 7, which is crazy. Yeah. A lost team still gets the 7, whereas the Bengals have not been mediocre.
Yeah, no, that is a weird one, but I agree with it.
No, we agree with it. And look at that. There we go. Look at how long it took us. An hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's right about average. So
look at that. We did an hour and 10 minutes.
Man, that's why I love the NFL though. Like I've really enjoyed these tier makers because they're making me think about teams over the season. Because I think I just like had a perception this year that like the good teams are just going to stay good. But man, oh man, there's been so many teams that have 180 that I've just been incredibly impressed by. You know, we got the Broncos turning it around. We got the Rams getting going. It's a fun season. Oh, I can't hear you.
Sorry about this. This high quality production value right here. We're talking about. Yes, we're having here. But I will say, yeah, this has actually been a pretty fun season. I mean, granted, there's been like the really bad teams have been like still been bad. Like, I mean, I will say the Giants have still been bad. The team that we just eliminated, like, look what the Panthers never really improved the whole season. But I feel like the teams have been like in the middle and probably been hunting for that playoff spot. Like how I put the Broncos at a 1. I put the Rams. The lowest was a 3. Hell, I gave the Packers a 2 in week 7, and now they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, I love it.
It's good. Now, this is going to be a good question now for Douglas. We're going to now 13. Now, this is going to be the good. I guess we should ask the 2 questions that we're going to ask because now we usually talk about who do you think is going to do good in the stock options
Mm-hmm.
on this week's teams. So if I had to do my betting, man, ooh, this is going to be an interesting one. So this week's, I'm probably going to put some stocks in the Cowboys. I'm just saying it. I think they're going to beat the Eagles. I'm sorry. I'm going to give them the 8. I'm trying to be. I think the Cowboys have done improving a lot better, and I feel like the Eagles have kind of faltered a little bit. I know you're probably going to say, "Oh, it's Eagle bias. It's Eagle bias."
You're the one saying it, not me.
I'm just
So
saying.
I would probably. I got a couple of weird ones that I would probably put stock in. Not that I think their season's going to be remarkable, but the two teams that have their quarterbacks back, the Cardinals, I would probably put some stock there. Nice win at the Steelers. There are two, like they can make a nice jump with a run. Then I mean, if the Bears beat the Lions this week, I could see them making a nice jump too. You know, back-to-back wins over playoff teams.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. That is definitely a good win on that one. I'm trying to think who else would I put. I weirdly feel like if the Rammies pull off an upset, I know that they're probably not going to beat the Baltimore Ravens.
Well, another more controversial one because I'm going to take my most disappointing team coming off a bye week. I think the Bills could be a good one where I could see them. I think they're sitting there. They're still 6-6. They still have one of the most talented rosters. If they put some things together, I think it'd be a real lot of fun if the Bills went on a run, and I could see them doing it.
Honestly, I might put Bengals because they're going to play against the Colts, and that's going to be an interesting one. I might put some Bengal stock right now.
Yeah, that's also a good one.
That's a good short-term loan. Jaguar. Ooh, that's a good one. Browns versus Jaguars. Ooh, I feel like that one. I feel like that one's a tough one, but I feel like even if the Jaguars win, I'm still going to give them the 7.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe not the Saints. Seahawks, I definitely think that's going to go down. Oh, yeah, that's going to be a tough one against the Chiefs. Ooh. I feel like.
Are you talking about who you'd sell now?
No, that's a good question. We should talk about the second thing. Who's going to be eliminated next in the playoffs?
I'd say the Patriots.
Now, do the Patriots play? Who the Patriots? Oh, they got to play against the Steelers.
Yeah, like they'll probably lose that game, and then I wouldn't be surprised if they're eliminated then.
Yeah, like I think the Steelers in the hovering. I'm trying to think who else is in the hover. Like is the Jets still in the hover? Wait, this is actually earlier. Sorry. Who's in like the hovering? Like they might be done. Yeah, it's honestly just going to be the Steelers, and that's it. Yeah, Steelers are the only one that are in like this is a do or die for not the Steelers for the Patriots, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, and I don't think that they have a good chance. So.
No, there's no good chances in this one. There's no good chances on the tier maker. I can't wait for. I will say it. I can't wait for our eulogy to make fun of the Patriots and be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for you Patriots fans, for all your 6 Super Bowls, that your team is now garbage."
Yeah, nobody's gonna feel sympathy for them, at least not for another decade.
Wait. Do you hear this, Douglas? Do you see that?
Oh yeah.
It's the world's smallest
violin.
Oh, I feel so bad. I want 6 Super Bowls and my team sucks. We're going back to the 1990.
And then we have the Lions over here, like, sniff the playoffs and are excited for a decade.
Oh my God, we want a playoff game. This is literally our Super Bowl. I don't care. Woo!
Literally.
Literally. But anyway,
cool.
Douglas.
Well, good week 13.
We got a great week 13. I cannot believe it. We did great on this garbage tier maker we have done. Hopefully the 9 fans.
I'll say maybe we're up to 9 or 10 if we keep this quality up.
Yes. The 9 or 10 fans, hopefully you give us a like, or you can give us a dislike and say we suck.
Yeah, which is cool too. We accept trolling. Our opinions aren't always the best.
Hey, I do accept if it's good trolling. I will always say it has to be really good, A-quality trolling. I will accept that. If you're doing hate comments, I just want to make sure. I will applaud you if you do a good troll.
Heck yeah. You might even get a shout out for our 10th viewer next week.
Woohoo! Woo! Give me a check. 10 fewer. Hopefully they don't say we suck.
Yeah, that's okay if they do.
But anyway, Douglas, I guess we will
That
see
makes
each
sense.
other. See you next time. We'll see you later.